Alright. So, a little bit late. I've been a little busy the last few days beforehand. Here I am, here to talk about AEW Full Year 2025. This is your boy Slopo AA. I'm here to talk about this show. Now, we're approaching, by the time you're watching this, end of 2025, the end of the year. And I so you do gonna get slight or more, so you're gonna get a lot more content out of me throughout this end of the year. Um, Gotta do after that. You will probably get Survivor Series 1. And there's just maybe a surprise video that I've been thinking of doing. A bonus video, if you can say, for Christmas. So you may want to stay tuned in for that. So subscribe while you can. Subscribe and hit that button as hard as you can, because you will get plenty out of me throughout this end of the year. And it all starts now with AEW Full Gear 2025. And mostly it was a consistently strong show. And this should be around this time where some of the products should be heated up, as I feel like the build up to this show was largely cold. Largely cold. Like the TVs have been very hit or miss. And I don't know, does this feel like this show had too many stipulations on it? And there was one match that didn't even need to have a stipulation at all. Like, I will get into what we get deep dive into this video review. But yeah, I feel there was way too many stipulation matches here. And yeah, and some of the placement of the show was kind of head scratching for me. And it really killed one particular match, which you probably know what I'm gonna refer to. So yeah. So just like Wrestle Dream, they had a pre-show match that extended to the very beginning of the show. So you had the Okada Takeshita match from the pre-show went into the main show. And I didn't watch it throughout, so I could be bothered talking about it too much. But I will say that Okada showing up on time while as the show really just started was just very funny. The stuff between Okada to catch the between Duncan's fans pretty much been my favorite story of this product. It's like it seems like every week seems to be a joy to watch, and you would think with the Continental Classic now about to now beginning by the time you're watching this video, you will think that this has to be like the main story of this whole tournament of some sort between these two guys, as that it's been said around. I mean, kind of the basis of the Continental Classic has been kind of built around these two guys, because you are called a Konosuke Takeshita. So you have to think it has to culminate in a match at the finals at World's End. So yeah, so that's what I think it has to. The actual opening match is Darby Allin versus the Bastard Pack. Darby yet another fucking match for the Death Riders. Like, wasn't Blood and Guts supposed to be the end of Darby having to fight these bozos? And they're still feeling like, oh my gosh. Like, this was a really good match. Like, like, like these two guys had pretty good chemistry, and Darby taking bumps like no one's business, and they work really well. This was a really good match. So yeah, like it had like like they work well, and Pat was just working on beating Darby, but Darby just keeps getting back up for the fight. And you had little shenanigans at the end with a you and sort of stuff. And then Darby bowed through and wins with Sting's baseball bats for the win. That's some really that's a really cool finish, and nice win for Darby, I guess. This was a really good match. Like nothing to say about it. So yeah. Next up is the women's tag team four-way to apparently determine the stipulation for the semifinals for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. You got the timeless love bombs, Mina and Tony, against Marina Shafir and Megan Bain versus the Beta Rahimi, Haley Cameron, and Will Niger, and the Sisters of Sins, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. For MASH, there's nothing like this was pretty much what it needed to be. It didn't overstay its welcome, but it didn't really feel like you were like fell on the Wildpipe show. Like this had like this had this like these like eight ladies that were in a match did the right amount of stuff that they get, and all of them got to shine very well. So yeah, this was a fun match. So yeah, and Timeless Love Bombs got the win, and apparently the with Time Love Bombs winning, they got the bit of stipulation against Mega Bang and Maria Sophia on the semifinal, and it was in I think it was God, what is it? A Christmas death match? That's what it was called. I couldn't remember, but it was something to the effect like that. So yeah, so there's that. So we're gonna get that match as a result, like of the timeless life love bombs winning here. So yeah, that was it. Next up is for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Bandillo Brody King defending the World Tag Team titles against FTR, Cash Ray, and Das Harwood. Man, oh man, this was a kick-ass match. Like, yeah, like this was awesome. like they got me. Like the first time they were working kind of methodical, but as the match went on, like they got me. And like FTR, like they did everything to make Bro Dio look like the biggest winners possible, even in defeat, because they kick out of their finishers multiple times. They even let Bro Dio did their finisher maneuvers and like yeah, like they gave Bro Dio a lot here. Which yeah, like I don't know there's been many I don't know there's been a modern wrestling tactics that are as given to a division as much as FTR. Like these two made Bro Dio work for it. Like and you see it throughout like this match. Like it was Barcelona and like they told an awesome story of and um of FTR not really having to they down to their low sync even for just to win here. Like as as much as many finishers they could not take Brodillo down. And they were able to take out Brody King and they left Bandillo against one or two and like a defiant babyface he threw them I think he threw the middle fingers I think and gave it all against FDR. He kicked out the Shadow Machine and then they hit the the is the top of like the pile driver. And then that's what got them the win. FTR retained that we are the brand new AEW World Tag Team Championships. And yeah, like this was amazing. Like top notch stuff. I think the tag team of Bro Deal between Bandito and Brody King has benefited them massively to the extent like they got to be featured a lot on TV and they were able to have this reign and perform really strong as champions. Like Bandito is pretty much on the top of his game right now, and Brother King seems to have another life. Seems to have a new, breathe a new life into his career, and now it seems to have they they kind of set up well after having this run as team that proper singles runs for the next year. So, yeah, and with FTR winning the World Tag Team titles, I think this is gonna lead to a Cope Christian winning the belts from the guys. That's what I think will happen. But yeah, this was excellent match. Pretty much match of the night. I have to get like yeah, those crowd were into it for this. The Gauntlet, the Casino Gauntlet, to determine the first AEW National Champion. Okay, so like, okay, so, so you basically unify the international title, continental title, at all in. So unify the unified title. Get to have another freaking belt. It's just like, come on, like, it's Tony Khan has to be a belt mark at this point because, like, there's no way he can like keep making belts like this up to his ass. Like, my God, he just introduced the women's tag team titles like almost 3 months ago, and now he's bringing this. Come on, what are you doing? And I guess I thought they had a bunch of belts, but my fucking God, man, they just gotta ease up because none of them means any nothing will mean anything if you just keep breaking belts just for the sake of it. Like there's literally no reason to brought that title. toward this. So yeah, and but the match I thought was really fun. Actually, was really fun. Like I think it was better than the 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 men's casino garden fall in. Like this was better. I must say. Like it flowed better, and you have multiple stories with Daniel Garcia, Danny Mac, Death Fry trying to win the title, one of Death Fry members. And you had a continuation feud between the man and the Her Syndicate. And yeah, like this gel well and really made it to a cohesive match throughout during it. And funny enough, as I was watching it, I felt like this is Ricochet's match to win. He's kind of been the whole story in this man, and as as well I know, he won the match. He stole a win, and la di da, he's the international champion. So yeah, I mean, for the first champion, it's pretty much as good for choice that you can pick. And yeah, like I feel like hopefully they can reheat him up for this championship reign because he really has felt cold in recent months. So hopefully giving him that belt will revive him a little bit, will heat him up. So yeah, this was a really fun match, and it was really fun, really strong here. So yeah, next up is a no DQ. It's a no holds bar. I also say no DQ. That's a no DQ match right after this. like yeah, like so no holds bar. John Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. Like this has been building up for quite a while now, I must say. And as Kyle O'Reilly was having John Moxley's number, he tapped out during Bloody Guts and all built up to here. And yeah, like this was like like yeah, like this was like kick ass. Like this was a really gruesome match, a real bloody fight. And yeah, they were having a great story of like Moxley not being struggling, being anxious throughout it to beat Kyle White since Wyatt had his number, but he knows Kyle has his number, and he could not find a way to beat O'Reilly here. And yeah, like and the story of it has really built up the crowds for Kyle White as throughout the beginning the crowd weren't fit, but with him going after the angle monster and just trying to get him to tap out, that really made the crowd really gel towards Kyle O'Reilly. And he got vast ovation throughout the Bloody Guts when he tapped him on Moxley. And he did it again. He did it again here at Full Gear. Like he tapped out John Moxley again. Like Moxley was beating him with all sorts of stuff, like of Shay and a fork and all that. And Kyle White still was able to get a number on Moxley for the tap out win. And with this Beatrice over Kyle Wiley, I do have to wonder if this is about getting Kyle over, or this is just purely about telling the story of eventually getting John Moxley kicked out of the Death Rise, because they strongly hinted towards the end and aftermath of this match, and with the post interview that Moxley gave for the Death Rise, just looking at him, like, you can definitely feel the end for Moxley's Death Rise. It's on the horizon. So yeah, so I don't know how much of this will do Kyle Wyatt in the future. I mean, he got kicked. I mean, he got his ass kicked after the match, but this was a huge, on paper, huge win for him. So he built on his match. So yeah, really, really, really gruesome, really violent, but they worked really well. It was really good. Next up is for no DQ match for the TNT Championship. You got Kyle Fletcher defending his title once again against Mark Briscoe. Yeah, like, this is what I talk about the placement of this show. Like, I feel like Moxley and Kyle Wyatt could have easily opened it and switched from with Darby and Pac going on before this. Because having like two stipulations like back to back was egregiously overkill, and I kind of got fatigued here. And I kind of got fatigued because it's Flash versus Mark Briscoe again. Because it's like, seeing kind of plenty of times in the past, it's like, at some point, people are not gonna care, and they weren't really into that match. Honestly, like they were really that. They got to like the end of it, but like, this was slightly better than the Wrestle 3 match. But yeah, this was still really pretty good match. Well, actually, I think this might be the worst out of all the matches these guys have. Like I said, it was still pretty good, but I kind of felt fatigue of it because I saw it plenty of times. Excuse me, and like they and like they and like they had a night story here of Mark Briscoe having to bow his way, since the stipulations of this match was, if Mark Briscoe loses, he will join the Don Callis family. That pretty much was the dead giveaway of this whole deal, was it? So Kyle Fletcher was just being down with all sorts of weapons, but Mark Briscoe would just keep fighting through and was able to beat Kyle Fletcher with his own brother move and all that stuff. And able to finally pick up the win to finally beat Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. Like, this was a nice moment for him. Pretty happy for Mark Briscoe. I mean, he's pretty much worked his ass off this whole entire year, so this is kind of a nice reward for all of that, giving him a title. And hopefully, since Kyle Fletcher, he's gonna be in the Continental Classic for right now. Hopefully, in 2026, with this result, it frees him up to have a main event on to move him up to the main event scenes for 2026. So yeah, a pretty good match. Kind of got fatigued because I seen this plenty of times these two men wrestle. But it had a nice moment in here, so there is that. Um, so you got the 6 man tag team match for $1 million. You got the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson and Josh Alexander against the Jurassic Express, Jack Perry, Luchasaurus, and Kenny Omega. This was a okay match. Just this was a decent match, but I couldn't really get through it. I couldn't get much through it. Maybe that's because this was again so late on this show. The show was going on. Maybe the story wasn't really hitting for me. Like, and the way that this story was told on the build up kind of told telegraphed the heck that the John Bosk were golden baby faces here. So so since the air fight between them and the Don Callis family, particularly Don Callis. So yeah, so they had decent match. The Young Bucks win, and Josh Alexander they get the $1 million, and then the Don Callis family attack the Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega after the match. And holy crap! Like they really milk this young Bucks face turn for all his for a really excessive amount of time. Like they were about to go in but not going on it. Like they were about to head up but not really. It just kept dragging on and on and on. They were staring at Don Callis. As Don Callis was telling them to get out to go backstage, but the Young Bucks said F the money, and they attacked the Don Callis family. And there seemingly do a reunion between the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega as the Elite. Again. like, like, this is all the best they all have for all of these three guys. Like, is Kenny Omega's health really in that bad position that he's not being trusted to have a proper singles field? So they just do this? Like, how many times can we see that? So, yeah. So, I really couldn't be bothered to care, sadly, for the Elite return, since it's kind of done to death almost, you can say. Then the next match for the AEW Women's World Championship, you got the TBS champion, 13 belts Bernay, Mercedes Monet at that time you're watching this, going up against Chris Statlander, the Women's World Champion. And yeah, this one was the one match I was talking about. The crowd pretty much killed this because they were not into this at all for a good chunk of this match. And it's a shame because like the story that these two ladies did was great. Like I won't even put on it as their last year's 4 Gears match or the World's End match, the both of their matches. But this was still really, really good. Like, like, like this was still serviceable for both of these ladies, and like, yeah, like, even with a dreaded crowd on it, this they still really were able to have a nice, really good wrestling match. And it told a great story of Mercedes putting out all the stuff trying to be this way. This was this really great spot where Chris ended up being on the on down the on the bottom row while Mercedes was able to beat the 9 count almost in reverse of the world's end match. So that spot was great. And these two ways were really working, like pretty much were working throughout all this. And at the end, finally, Chris Stanley was able to beat Mercedes Moné to retain the women's world title here. As I think I even said in my Wrestle Dream review that this had to be the direction here. Mercedes already beat this woman twice last year. Having to do another victory for Monet over Statlander when she hasn't able to lose all the titles yet. And like Son Monster made a great point. Shout out to him. Like, why would Tony Khan have Mercedes Monet as her world champion if she's going to make the towns throughout all the indies and all other promotions lose all of her titles? Like, I think it's better for her to lose all the titles right away, to lose all the titles, then get the women's world title. As you don't devalue the title that much. So, and it gives that letter a much needed credibility win here, as they needed to like establish like, hey, Statlander is the girl to beat. And they solidify it here. I'm glad they made the right choice here. And Mercedes can now properly lose all the titles through the downfall story. And gets Statlander a much near win over Mercedes. So, yeah, really good match, the right result. Can't complain too much. Then this was for the AEW Men's World Championship, the main event, the steel cage match between Hangman Adam Page defending against Samoa Joe. Why this was a steel cage match, first of all? Like, what? So the ops couldn't interfere? Like, they didn't fucking interfere in this match? Like, and first of all, after we just saw blood and guts and all that stuff, and all the carnage throughout this show also, how did they thought the fans would be compelled to another cage match on an almost a 4.5 hour mark here between Joe and Hangman? Like, they put these both men in a no-win situation here. Like, and was it to say the match, the work these guys did was bad? Far from. Like, this was okay. Like, this wasn't even as good as the rest of them, but they did all right here. It's just like I was like done by it because this was a long ass show, and like, yeah, like, and like, why did this need to be a cage? If you even want to have stipulation here, like, couldn't you just done like, I don't know, like Texas death match or something? At least like the death fight, that me or not death right is why I say it, but the ops could interfere on it and it will accomplish the same thing. But like, no, like this the cage was pretty much useless to me. But yeah, these two, Heyman and Joe, tried their best here. You got the ops interfering in the end, and Then you get the big climax finish with Hook showing up. And the way they did it was the most obvious swerve, bro, that you could ever fucking imagine. And sure enough, Hook hits the world title belt onto Hangman Page, and that allows Samoa Joe to hit the Muscle Buster on the belt and win his second AEW World title. So Samoa Joe beats Hangman Page to win the world title. Ending Hangman Page world title, second world title reign in just 4 months. And Joe won here. I'm kind of feeling mixed thoughts about it. Because on one hand, it's fine that Heyman had a formal reign. Like, I had no issues with it. And I will never be against with Samoa Joe winning another world title as he's still at the end of the day one of the coolest wrestlers alive. So I'm happy for Joe getting this nice validation again. I just feel like this is kind of self-inflicted decision on Tony Khan's part. Like, I think he felt like, because like he could just build up more heel challenges for Heyman to beat, but they really didn't do any of that, and that really hurt Heyman's options as champion. And that's where he kind of got overshadowed by other feuds again. It's like it felt like Tony he had nowhere to go with Heyman as champion, so this was the only move he thought he could make here. And I kind of feel this was a self-inflicted decision on Tony Khan's part, without Tony having the ability to build up more challenges for Heyman to face. So yeah, they kind of cut. It kind of felt like Heyman's knees were kind of cut off throughout this reign as champion. Like, the work he did as champion was pretty good. It just he had limited options, and this is what they opted to do. And I don't know how much the Samoa Joe's second world title win will do much purpose, as he may as well be dropping the belt soon to the person that he beat for the first time. As after the match, the lights went out, and out comes Swerve Strickland with Prince Nama coming in first. And there is the most dangerous man himself, Swerve. A big get for that main event scene. Really cool to see him back. And the interaction between him and the sight of seeing him and Heyman being as a cohesive unit looks cool. So yeah, they got a nice dynamic story. It just it kind of feels like a retrend. Like, Joe won the first title the first time, like in 2023, and then 2024 he faced Swerve Heyman, and that's pretty much what we are getting here the second time. So yeah, I don't know how much worth it will be long term. At the moment, I'm happy for Joe, but looking at it for the big picture, I don't know how much they could gain from it, you know? So that's my whole thoughts on that. Full Gear, again, like I said, was consistently strong, so had a lot of shots disclosing, and A lot of story beginning with the Continental Classic starting off and this fun dynamic to the main event scene, albeit a retread between Joe, Hangman, and Swerve. So there's that. My whole thoughts for Full Gear 2025. Tell me what you thought about. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Again, press that heart button. Tell me what you thought about Full Gear in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Maenius, and I approve this message.